Welcome to another episode of Bargain Bin Saturdays, and this week I'm taking a look at Our Gang. Get there. Okay. Though I have to wonder why it's part of this family film collection. Not because Our Gang is a horror film or anything like Phantom Town was, but because Our Gang is actually three 20-minute shorts thrown together from a TV series, which you might be more familiar with its other title, The Little Rascals. Which, yeah, I got this for $7.50 instead of $5, but I saw The Little Rascals in the $5 bin at Walmart, so I may very well cover this movie. Called a slight bending of the rules, if you will. Um, but I guess I should get back onto the topic of Our Gang, and it's definitely hard for me to give a real serious opinion about the series. I mean, I've only seen a whole 3 episodes out of a series that spans over 200 episodes. There's no way for me to give a really informed opinion about the quality of the series when I haven't even seen 1/10 of it. It's just impossible to really give a serious opinion here. I mean, I can give you opinions on maybe the 3 episodes I watched, but they sort of just blend together in my mind already because I honestly didn't care about them too much. I guess you can argue that my reason for not liking them that much is because they're in black and white, and I know that's petty, especially for someone like myself, who constantly gets upset with people that judge video games based on their graphical qualities and graphical presentation instead of their gameplay. I mean, it doesn't matter how pretty a game is. If it plays like crap, it's already going to lose my interest really fast. Just look at Final Fantasy 13. The game when it was released when it was first released was visually impressive, but the game itself is just terrible in a gameplay's perspective because it basically plays itself and wants to basically have you use the auto battle system, so it wants to basically play itself. In fact, it feels more like a movie at times than a video game, and that's just not something you want. I'm trying to play a game here. It should be entertaining, and I feel like it's challenging me to some extent, because obviously to be a video game, you have to have a win and loss state. Obviously, there's other factors to consider. You don't want the game to be too easy or too hard, so it pushes players away either, depending on who your audience is and who you want your audience to be. But those are discussions for another video, assuming I ever discuss them at all, because I think there's people that have covered it much better already. Though I guess you could argue the same with a lot of my Let's Plays, but hey, I do that for my own personal entertainment and enjoyment, even if I'm not very good at it. But as far as our game goes, it's just a series of 20-minute comedic shorts, and the comedy varies. I found there's some slapstick in the first episode I have, which is about this boy and some of his friends trying to go on a camping trip, and there's some other oddball jokes, like they bring some eggs and they hatch in the chickens while in the oven. Don't ask me how that works. It doesn't make a lick of sense, actually. They also get attacked by a man in a ape suit for some reason. I'm guessing he and his partner are thieves or something, and they didn't want the kids to report their location, because that's something they brought up, at least the location issue. But I don't know why they would have a bear trap, not to mention how it didn't snap the guy's arm off or seriously injure him when it closed in on his arm, because that happens, and they proceed to shoot him with arrows in the most half-hearted way possible. I actually, it's pretty sad, and they start shooting him with like cap guns in the butt. Um, I have to admit that was pretty funny, even if it feels like it was cut a bit sloppily, because there are some really rough edits where sometimes characters will jump slightly from one position to another, so you know there was a rough cut there. Um, as far as my overall opinions of the 3 episodes, so I guess they're all right, despite my distaste for being in a black and white environment here. But would I recommend tracking down the series? I don't know. I mean, you're talking about a series that definitely has characters that are cultural icons, or at least were cultural icons. So, not watching it seems like you're denying a part of history and American culture and experience. At the same time, it's so dated that sometimes when you see some of the references they make, like they make a reference to blackface in a minstrel joke book, and that brings up racism. And quite frankly, I guess you can argue the series is trying to be less racist than most things from that time and era, because at least you have kids of different ethnic backgrounds in the same work being treated the same way. Um, what's going on behind the scenes, though, I have no idea, and I'm not gonna look into it because I just don't care. I usually worry more about what's in the piece of media that's presented to me rather than what's going on in the background. It can definitely be informative, but it's not something I want to know about. So, like I said, I guess if you want to look at Our Gang, it's something to track down on your own time, because I can't really give you a good informed opinion about it. It has its ups and downs like any comedy series would have. If it's better overall in terms of the laughs instead of the disappointments when jokes fall flat, I can't really determine that from just 3 episodes. I'd have to see more, and I probably won't. Like I said, the black and white issue just really turns me off. I don't want to track down anything else. But I guess next time I'll be looking at the movie that was spawned out from this series, The Little Rascals. Until next time, then. See ya.
Ouch!